Okay. So we're back
Alright.
here with another Let's Play draft, and this pack is pretty underwhelming.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Can sacrifice creatures to destroy lands. Yawgmoth's Agenda.
Oh! What the hell?
LOL. Okay, so this just got funny. So,
I tried to blow up the artwork, and I took it.
huh. Okay, so that's probably not a very good first pick.
Okay, so there was a probe, a Shivan Emissary, a Serpentine Kavu. What other? I was gonna take the probe.
I didn't even notice the probe was in the pack. I was leaning towards Shivan Emissary, but I didn't see other stuff, so. Oh, there's an iPhone beeping and I don't know how to turn it off. So far, let's try to win through this, obviously.
This is what
Um,
happened to me in the top 8 of the MOCS that I played in.
Ooh,
I
Savo Tavik. Let's
Hey,
take
look,
that 7 drop.
are you
Now's our
serious?
chance to take Probe. I mean, that card doesn't even do anything good. It assassinates legends. This isn't Commander.
I know, it's just hard to kill in combat.
Um,
I think there
so,
was there a Dustwalker in
Dustwalker,
that pack
Probe.
too?
I didn't see a Dustwalker.
I think that there's the same common run. I actually think that this pack and that pack may have the exact same common run.
Well, I mean, we beat ourselves up for not taking Probe last time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what else is there? Samite Administration?
That's not very good.
Oh god, that's bad.
I mean, these
The
are the 3
Serpentine
best
Kavu, which
cards.
is playable.
Yeah, the Serpentine Cob is actually really big.
Yeah.
That or a probe.
Let's just take the Probe. I'd rather take something that I like. I wouldn't be happy taking a second pick Serpentine Kavu, but I could take a first or second pick Probe. Are we gonna play a control list with like Metatron Zombie? You wanna just play
No.
that?
I kind of want to take the Fertile Ground.
Skyweaver's actually quite good, and Reviving Vapors is playable if lame.
No,
It's
Vapors
like a
isn't
way
very
worse Factor
playable.
Fiction, but I ran it as a 1-of in a block deck once.
So I was talking to AJ before this started about how I kind of want to have a blue-green base messy deck, and this would go along with that.
Okay.
Whoa, Metathran Wizard.
Yeah, no, I actually think that's one of the best Weavers, though.
It is pretty good being able to lift up. But
If you want to take Fertile Ground, you can take Fertile Ground.
I don't want to draft another control deck.
Okay. I mean, we'd definitely be doing that if we took Skyweaver.
Ooh,
There's a Kavu Chameleon.
I know.
And if you want to draft that control deck, you can take Metatron Transport. What a weird card.
What a sad card. It looks like the art was based on Independence Day. I mean, ID4.
Really
So you don't get it
does.
confused with the American holiday. I like 4/4s though, even though it's harder to cast than Serpentine Kavu.
Yeah. I like how Collapsing Borders, as far as domain cards go, just is so underwhelming.
A lot of the domain cards are really underwhelming.
Realistically, that's like some kind of weird life gain card. So there's Kavu Chameleon. I actually like Tidal Visionary as a card. I wouldn't mind if we were able to pick one of those up.
Yeah,
I'm not
late.
super excited about it. So
It's a nice card to have late because it turns off a lot of the black removal.
yeah, Kavu Chameleon's like Spirit Monger, only probably harder to cast in this format and worse in almost every way.
Okay, so there's another probe.
I still think Probe's really good.
Me too. Probe is
Unless
kind of
this
like...
is where you want to take that Tidal Visionary, but
I'm staring at the Coastal Tower. I'm like, just think of all the greed this opens up.
yeah, I
You
know.
remember, this was a $5 card at one point in Paper Magic.
I remember that.
Who knows how much it was on Moto? Probably like 1 billion tickets.
A billion.
Yeah, and now this is just... Like, compare this to Hollowed Fountain or Celestial Colonnades.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, grab that Probe.
Okay, so
There's
here's...
that Trailblazer, and there's a Viduran Emissary. What does that do? Kill an artifact? But it's
Yeah.
a 2/3 for 3, which
I know.
is the important part.
Oh man, look at the artwork.
I know. I think you have to take it.
I think it's better than the Trailblazer too. The
Yeah, by
Trailblazer,
turn 4,
it
I mean,
yeah yeah sure it fixes your colors and ramps you up to 6, but 1-2 barely affects the board.
yeah. It, I remember only being happy when I could ramp up into Trappa or something, and that's obviously not going to happen at this point.
Okay, so this pack, I would guess that Dustwalker is the card to take, even though it's double black.
I'm thinking about it. And then there's
The
Land War
cameo
Elite 2,
sucks.
which is really bad.
Yeah. I mean, Orange
Um,
Touch is okay. Hooded Kabu's okay.
yeah, I'm not really excited about the Cameo or whatever that is. Uh, what does Fight or Flight actually do?
Only half their creatures can attack. Or only one pile of their creatures. It probably just breaks. Hey, look, it's Brienne of Tarth.
Okay, that's funny. But I guess that card isn't awesome enough to warrant taking it at this point.
Yeah.
Players can't cast spells with the share color of the spell most recently cast this turn.
I'm pretty sure this was some weird sideboard card. And this is the creepiest Rebecca Gway art I've ever seen. Look at her facial
Maybe
expression.
it's
Does
a
she even have pupils?
self-portrait. There's Bog Initiate.
I think that this is the
That's
most
pretty
playable
unexciting.
card.
Um, Traveler's Cloak is what? That's a cantrip,
Cantrip.
right?
Yeah,
That's actually not that awful.
I know. I'm taking the Kabu Scout though. I don't
Okay.
think we'll play it, but
You don't want to take Manipulate Fate, the cantrip to be played with Guided Passage?
okay. So this is the pack that had the Probe, the Shivan Emissary, a Duskwalker, and the
Yeah.
Serpentine Kabu.
I mean, we could take Vidalian Serpent or Vidalian Merchant, which I suppose is playable.
I
Or there's the Vicious Kavu.
yeah, Vicious Kavu. So I
I
think
mean, we
it's
don't.
I think it's
Yeah.
probably the Merchant.
It's just the Serpents. I would find it unlikely to want to play something like that, but I would.
You
Oh,
just
you took the
convinced
Serpent?
Yeah, you just convinced me
Well,
to take it.
now we can take the Merchant, I guess. It's just right now we don't have any 2-drops at all. We didn't see any, like, well,
Bears.
maybe in that first pack that we didn't. Tidal
Visionary.
Visionary, sweet.
So,
Didn't think about
one
that.
cool thing about this deck is we're set up to take Orberg Elves, which are prevalent in the third pack.
Yeah. And then we can ramp up into our 4-drop Vidalian Serpent.
I think I'd rather have a
I
second Merchant than a second Visionary.
That's probably right. I can't. Well, neither of these do I want to have a second.
Do you want to have a first?
I don't know.
Wondering
I
Suite?
guess I would rather take the Visionary, but maybe that's stupid. Just because like there's more to quote unquote combo it with. Yeah, Wings of Hope strikes me as having most effect on the board out of these cards.
Man, this guy looks like he taught the new Flight artwork how to fly.
Yeah. So, yeah, the new Flight artwork.
We're gonna go with Wandering Stream. That seems a little more important, or a little bit better of an effect. Wow. Oh, it's a sorcery. That's why.
Yeah, it is.
I thought it was an instant. So we basically got like no green cards.
LOL. That guy. There's Stray.
Yeah, so it's Strafe and I guess Stone Kavu are the most powerful cards.
Okay, so what I see us doing so far is playing a blue-green base, splashing maybe black or red.
We've got some black so we'll get the probes, but the red, like I'm willing to take a Strafe here. I just am not like we're not going to be fire breathing this guy or pumping its
No, I know that.
posterior.
There's something like the Arctic Merfolk, which is really unexciting.
Yeah, I think that this is not good at all. There's a Recluse, but that gives us green, so that's not that exciting. Man, we could have 3 probes.
What about the Horned Kavu? That seems really bad in our deck right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, let's just grab the Strafe. If we have to end up playing without major black, that would be fine.
I agree.
What's a Deadpool?
Sack a zombie. There's a Primal Growth Amphibious Kabu, which I quite like, and a Alpha Kabu.
Alpha Kavu was the bee's knees at a time when damage went on the stack.
Yeah.
Though now it doesn't. I don't know. There's Primal Growth if you want to keep up
Fix our
the,
mana.
let's take mana fixing.
Primal Growth is basically a Rampant Growth for 3.
Yeah.
There's Treva's Runes, which is the opposite of
Yeah. I'm
Ramp.
not excited about the layers. I
Neither am
think
I.
Alpha Kavu or Amphibious Kavu is right. I guess,
So probably the Amphibious is a little better.
you think so? It's got
Well,
like quasi-evasion.
well, it's really good at blocking black and blue creatures. Like it becomes a
Yeah.
5/5. I think that the combat ability of it is better than the mana
Do it.
intensive.
Yeah. Maybe if damage still went on the stack, we would disagree. But,
Okay,
alas.
so we have. I'm gonna go ahead and hide the Kabu Scout.
Why is
Uh,
that?
because I don't think that I want to be playing it. So this
Okay,
pack
so
has a Magnigoth, Magnigoth Tree Folk.
that guy's not horrible. He's got 6
Wasn't
toughness.
there a foil one of these in the draft we did last night?
It wasn't foil. I
Oh,
think it was just regular. It's
well,
got some of the better art I've seen.
uh, I'm
There's
coming
also
for
a
you.
rushing river.
Whoa, I
You see
didn't even
that?
see the Rushing River.
So rushing river can bounce 2 things, right?
Yeah, Rushing River is pretty good. Probably it's the
Um,
pick.
I think so too. We need more dudes. I want more
Yeah,
2-drop
but
dudes.
I mean, we might see one of these guys lap.
Yeah, that's true. Cool.
Okay.
Phyrexian Tyranny, huh?
Oh man,
Exciting.
I want to take the Pilgrim here. Maybe we just take the Lash Knife Barrier.
I know Lash Knife Barrier is nuts, but we don't have any white cards.
I know, but we really don't have any red cards.
Lash Knife Barrier just looks like Lash Knife from Prophecy or whatever.
Yeah, but it's
So I
actually
think everybody
insane.
thinks it's terrible, but it might be one of the best cards ever in this format. It's like clearly a first pick
Yeah,
if you can play it. Um, what does that mean for us? Are we just taking whatever we can? There's also a Samite Pilgrim in the pack.
yeah, I
It's worth
saw
having
that.
a Gerard's Command. Thornscape Familiar is playable in our deck now, but
The Thornscape
uh,
Familiar was kind of what I was taking just to have a 2x in our 2 slot, but
yeah,
I'm
Lash
into
Knife
Lash
Barrier
Knife
is really
Barrier.
good.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to think really hard going into our last pack because this is a disgusting mess. So we can, if we start taking white cards, this is actually pretty good.
The Sunscape Familiar seems like we'd be taking another control deck, but I'm okay with that actually.
Yeah, but
I would
this,
take Sunscape Familiar, even though it's sad we passed the Silver Drakes.
yeah, I
Which have
agree.
sweet synergy with Vidalian Merchant. Yep,
I think
my
that
wife agrees.
she just agrees because she can, not because she thinks that.
Well, what do you think about that card? We could also take the Stormscape Familiar, but it doesn't look like it does very much for us. But maybe it would.
To me, it's these 3 cards, and I'm leaning between one of these two. And since I think that we could get more of these type of cards on the lap, going to familiar. Like the familiar
Okay.
makes probe a lot better. Here's a
Quirion
hobble.
Dryad is actually not atrocious, and there's a Gaia's Might.
Yeah,
But Hobble... Is that another foil surprise deployment? Was that in the other draft?
yeah, that was in the other.
Um,
I
so like Quirion Dryad I think is really good, but I don't
okay.
know. What do you
So
think?
you think that the Dryad's really good?
I
Besides,
think I think it's like a 3/3 probably on turn 4, but maybe
it's really good if it
just
comes
take,
down on turn 2. I almost want to take another familiar.
I want to Stranglehold Hobble. Like I don't know, Hobble's really good. It's a removal spell. We don't have any of those
But it's
really.
worse with gating.
Yeah, it also cantrips. I mean, there's also a Gaia's Might if you want something that can function as a removal spell. It's just like Giant Growth, I guess.
I like defaulting to you because then when things don't go well, I can say, "Wah."
Yeah, you can. There's Sea Snid.
Yeah,
That looks like the pick at this point.
I don't know. I might want to just have one Steel Leaf Paladin over a Snid this early.
Maybe you do, or maybe you want to root Greeble.
Well, I guess that Snid can mana fix us in a pinch.
Yeah, or it can disrupt an opponent.
I... This is hard because I don't really want to play either of these cards,
Yeah.
but I think that we might need more bad mana fixing. Because so far we really don't have any green cards.
Our 3-drop slot is super bad.
Our 3-drop slot is awesome.
We're an Explorer.
Yep,
Get in there.
that's the pick. Bog down. No.
I want one guy as my, if possible, but I don't think that's going to happen at this point.
So
I remember this back. Do we take
yeah.
the Arctic Merfolk?
No. Why do you keep on? This card's not playable in most decks.
I know. It's like an okay sideboard card if they have a bunch of hobbles.
So we got another chance at a paladin. We have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 creatures to gate now, or a stone kavu.
I suppose we don't want to give our lands Shroud. Yeah, just take that Steel Leaf, I guess. I think it's better than Stone Kavu. Stone Kavu sucks.
Stone kavu does not suck, but you want to be in one of its pumped collars for it to do anything.
There's Pollen Remedy here.
Or a Greevil.
Greeble, my least favorite body that I would have to run.
I think they. I don't know if we want to be playing
sure.
Pollen Remedy, do we?
Probably not, actually.
I kind of like the idea of having a Greevil, access to a Greevil.
Right now, Steel Leaf Paladin hardly seems playable because we don't have any green guys. Actually, we just don't have any playable guys.
Pollen Remedy.
Would we rather take a Hull Breach, or...
No.
Okay.
We just took the Greevil so we don't have to take cards like Hull Breach. I guess Daring Leap.
I guess so.
Oh, this deck is a mess.
Yeah, this is one of the worst.
We'll take this card that affects... I don't think we really want...
Would you rather just take a cantrip in case you need to fill it out?
No. But we got one
Here
anyway.
We can. Sweet.
Sweet, second Greevil.
Oh god.
So...
This looks atrocious.
I'm gonna go ahead and hide that. No, we got 20 playables, man. This is a deck.
Yeah, and we've got Fertile Ground and Quirion Explorer, I guess, sometimes to be able to play Probe's Kicker.
No, at least we can EOT Rushing River 2 guys and then make them discard it.
Yep. Yep.
Well...
Sweet. A Wrath of God. For red, red, white, white 2.
To me, Coalition Honor Guard is the pick.
There's also a Fire Ice. I'm just looking at everything. There's Temporal Spring, which we can definitely support.
Yeah.
But Coalition Honor Guard is really, really good. Let's remember that we saw this Wrath of God. It's slow and awkward, and I don't mind passing it.
There's
That's
also
what I'm trying to say.
The cards, like maybe a Consume Strength or a Temple Spring come back. Or even a Savage Gorilla.
Yeah. I mean, Coalition Honor Guard seems like the pick to me.
Okay, that phone needs to leave the room.
Let's
or
go
it
with
needs
the
to
Honor
be
Guard.
muted. I cannot handle it. And I'm sure that the people that are listening can't either. Sound off if you hate iPhones. I thought Becky got up. Doesn't she know how to turn off the volume?
I don't know. I know I don't.
But yeah, we're going to go with an Honor Guard. Hope that Temporal Spring comes back, or Savage Gorilla comes back.
It really could. I mean, there are a bunch of decent cards in this pack, and even someone who isn't playing red or white might take Desolation Giant because they're scared of it.
If we get enough... Ooh, Penumbra Kavu.
That card's nutty.
Yeah. And then we got
there's
two
another
blue
Temporal
green.
Spring. And Jungle Barrier.
Yeah. So this is the best Snid in the... I think, aren't they called Reapers? 3/3s for 5 after Phyrexian Reaper? He's like the...
I've never heard that.
You
But
probably
maybe.
haven't talked enough to...
I've always called
Blog.
them Snids.
Snids, okay. So we'll go with Snids for AJ's sake. But this is
Okay.
definitely the best Snid.
Yeah, I think so. Are you sure we don't need a Jungle Barrier just to make it that far into the game?
Well, we have 2 Root Greevils and an Honor Guard.
Yeah, Root Greevils are like Jungle Barrier. I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think they're
Ebony
probably the
Threefold.
Helionaut, even though
Oh
I
yeah,
like...
that's right. I forgot which colors we were playing there for a minute. Let's go with Helionaut.
So now black is just a splash for probes.
Yeah, and Helionaut is good.
I remember
I'm
this
actually
guy.
happy about that. That guy was cool.
I know. This is surprisingly better than the artwork would leave you to believe.
Well, that's the case for almost all these cards, except in the case of Soul Link, in which the artwork and the card are poor,
I
or
like how it
Bognar.
says choose a creature type other than wall because this is when wall meant defender, which I
Yeah.
guess is still attached to it.
Okay, take the Helionaut. Ooh,
Hmm.
Last Stand. Look at
Yeah,
the art on that.
I got pretty excited about that too.
Urborg Elf.
Is that Tongarth is just in so many pictures.
Yeah, he's a really important character in the whole saga. I don't know. I don't know if
So
that's true at all.
this I think that Orbergelf is the pick, and maybe like uh, the Uprising tables. But I want to take.
Oh, somebody's at the door.
You're,
This never happens.
uh, the sounds in Boston are so much more interesting than Indiana. So I think that I have time for a quick anecdote. You remember
Yeah.
when Planeshift came out and they had that special foil promotion where like sometimes you would just get like a super cool foil legend that had alternate artwork?
Yeah, I remember Tongarth having alternate artwork in some past packs.
And Urtai, and I think the Weatherlight.
I remember,
What?
yeah,
Are
Weather.
you
I
guys
thought the
okay?
Weatherlight
Are
was a
you
pretty
guys
good
okay
card.
over there?
Thai food came.
Oh, that sounds
Gaia Skyfall.
delicious. Yeah.
Sweet, a playable. And that's like exactly what we need. Do we want the Ana Sanctuary?
No, I just read it.
I guess it's pretty underwhelming, except in
It's
certain circumstances.
it's no Raka Sanctuary.
Okay, yeah, let's just go with the Skyfolk in that pack.
Okay, so
Um,
here's another Pelionaut. What does this do? Draw a card, discard a card, draw 2 cards, discard a card. Not that interesting.
that's actually one of the worst ones. I mean, it's fine. There's Lay of the Land, there's
And
Sata Disciple,
to
there's
me,
Helionaut in this pack.
to me, it's the Helionaut or the Disciple. I'm not really that into Lay of the Land.
Um,
I really like the Helionaut, I think.
yeah, I like having more 1/2s.
I like having flyers that we can attack a little bit with that can actually block once a Lash Knife barrier is out.
Yeah, me too.
What
I
did we...
forgot that we had Lash Knife Barrier. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, we passed another Sunscape Familiar for the Hobble. I'm glad we have a Hobble now. Oh
Okay, so
man.
there's... nobody knows that Helionaut is good, and so we're wasting our high picks.
Yeah, but I think that's what we take again because I don't want to take a Squeeze Embrace or a
Oh,
Bog.
so we're playing 5-color white. What about Gaia's Balance? Oh, we have to sack 5 lands to do that?
Yeah.
That's fine. We
Sacking
never
5
want...
lands. No, this card is horrible because you
Oh,
always...
they...
You play one of a couple lands and you always draw
Right.
them.
Right, okay, that makes sense. Helionaut, there's Medallion Mystic, which I don't want to play
Is
any more
definitely
cards
not a
like that.
Tidal Visionary.
That's for sure. Um, there's the Orum's Thunder, which might be worth considering. There's, yeah, that guy.
Would you be willing playing this guy?
Based on the picture, yes.
I mean, okay, I don't like Anna Disciple that much.
It's not that exciting, but maybe we have to take it. That's
I,
one of Travis's favorite art cards too, like both these cards.
man,
There's like a leech that they added to the picture that doesn't even cast a shadow.
I
I
know.
guess he's making a sapling fly or something.
I just like how the wings are
We have
leaves.
to take something, I guess
I'm
that.
taking the Charger. Well, this...
I don't see us playing it.
I...
Temp Spring.
Yep. I could see
Sweet.
myself playing a Flowstone Charger. I mean, I don't really want to, but 2/5 is nice. It doesn't attack very well though.
No, no, it doesn't.
Kavu Glider.
I guess so. If we're gonna make space for the Flowstone Charger, maybe we can make space for Kavu Glider too. 5-color Helionaut.
Quagmire Druid.
Why not?
I just take the cards that are
Take
most
the
playable
Jaded
at this point.
Response. Why
Uh,
not Minotaur Tactician? Or would you rather play Whirlpool Rider? I don't know. I guess we can keep a bad hand with a Whirlpool Rider.
Whirlpool Rider is not a playable. No, maybe I want someone to play Soul Link.
Okay. Ooh.
These are all playable. This is
I don't
confusing.
understand. These are all like late picks, but Angel Fire isn't bad.
This card's actually really scary. I wish we had some in our red-white deck in the previous draft.
Yeah, I don't even remember seeing one. We could.
This index. This makes
Uh,
what is it, like fire flame something Kavu? The black
Fire
one?
Screamer.
Fire Screamer, that's what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, this makes Fire Screamer look awful.
So we didn't find a Coastal Drake anywhere, which kind
No.
of makes me sad. Well, look at this mess of cards. 5-color Helionaut. This is. I feel like this deck. I actually have no way to assess the quality of this deck right now.
Okay, I'm gonna take out all the cards that I would definitely play.
Yeah. Um.
And that's
Oh,
18.
there's a Hobble up there. Can we play
Oh,
that?
I thought I double clicked it. Oh, I forgot to click the Lash Knife barrier, I guess.
Um.
So, look at this glut of non-creature. Oh man, this is a disgusting mess. So
Yeah, this
these,
is one of the worst piles of cards I've ever seen.
uh, you're selling this deck short.
That's
This,
fair. Okay, let's put the Strafe in. We're now playing 5 colors, right? I mean,
I'm gonna go ahead and move cards that are playable over
oh, that
here.
Tidal Visionary is going to need to get in there. Even though, do we even have anything relevant? We have a Hobble for Tidal Visionary to matter. We have... This is terrible. We don't even have any win cons.
No, we have some Helionauts, a Gaia's Skyfolk. Yeah, we did. We should have probably taken some more flyers. We didn't get any of the 4-drop white flyers. Someone has a good deck. We're gonna have to play against
Um,
it.
okay, so here's what we need to move in this pile. The Sea Snid. Probably the Vidalian Merchants.
I think that we can play one
Maybe
merchant at
the
least.
Serpent. So we have another way to kill them. Um,
We have no way to turn a land into an island, but the island deck will be the scariest deck to play against.
yeah. There are Root Greevils that we can bring in the 4-drop slot, which aren't the worst thing in the world, but maybe Angelic Crusader is better.
I think that Strafe is a pretty painless inclusion. We don't even have to play a mountain for it.
What about the Steel Leaf Paladin? Do we need to bring that in as another kill condition?
Yeah.
Okay, so then
So
there's the Flowstone Charger, which doesn't strike me as a kill condition because it trades with most 2/2s
I mean,
in most circumstances.
it's it's basically just a wall that occasionally can attack.
I'm not convinced that the Tidal Visionary is bad, or
No,
that we don't want to also be running a Root Greevil or an Angelic Crusader,
I
despite their lack of
yeah.
being good.
Well, I mean, the Crusader we will have 4, possibly 5 mana sources to pump it.
Yeah. There's
Um,
also the Wings of Hope. We can sort of give up a card to turn something into a kill condition.
that's
Doesn't
true.
make me happy.
That's true, but I don't want to consider it if I don't have to.
Okay.
I mean, the
I want
idea
to try this wall too.
the idea behind this deck, as far as I'm concerned, is just the card advantage will win us the game. So 2 probes, the barrier, and the hobble are kind of like what we're hoping will bring us victory.
No, that makes sense. We need to close out the game somehow, and Helionaut isn't going to do it.
Well, what we have that can actually attack
Yeah.
is pretty much right here, and then we have a little bit of evasion stuff. And then
Okay.
Strafe will probably have to just take out either a utility creature or a flyer. Luckily, there aren't very many red flyers.
I mean, we do want to play the Strafe, I take it, even though it's...
It'll be our only red card. I don't think we're going to play any swamps or any mountains. See,
Yeah,
that's one of the
probably
reason
not.
I'm glad we don't have to take like primal growth and stuff
So if we
for our
don't play
mana
any
picks.
mountains, we can only cast Strafe up with Helionaut or Fertile Ground and sometimes Quirion Explorer, and that's probably okay. But when we're
Yeah,
casting it off with Quirion Explorer, or I guess we could cast it up with Sea Snid, we can turn a land into an island. Um,
a mountain.
yeah. I mean, when we're casting it off off of Aquarian Explorer, it means that our opponents are playing red creatures probably too, which
Yeah.
makes it worse, but that's okay. Are you sure we don't want to get a Root Greeble in there? Or the Tidal Visionary?
I I think I only want to bring in Tidal Visionary against a deck that has a lot of black removal.
Okay, that's fine. Um,
I kind of want to bring in a Root Greeble though.
I just like having a creature with 3 toughness floating around
I'm not
that has at
actually
least a relevant ability.
like I like that we can discard our glut of land and stuff with this, but what it does to the I guess it can trade with X1 or 2/1s when there are a decent number of 2/1s.
Bounce it with Steel Leaf.
No, you can't.
No, I'm saying you can't do
Oh,
that, which
well,
makes it
you got cut
worse.
off.
Um, it's definitely not exciting. What do you think?
Hmm. I'm just thinking if what 2 cards I would cut if I brought in a Root Greeble. I mean, I
I
think
feel like we can't cut a Helionaut.
no, we
I
can't.
feel like they're a win con.
I think the
Uh,
Helionauts are important. I mean, I think it's this like, and then we have to figure out if we actually want to play this main,
I think we do. I think we do want to play that main.
and then
Um, well,
uh,
maybe not. I don't know.
well, I mean,
Do you want to just board it in a lot?
we have the Sea Snid to make it something that can attack. 6/6 is just gigantic.
I know.
Like we really can't take to the air, but if we play against a green deck, like this is pretty good against green too. So basically, the only decks it's not good against would be white, black, red, and uh,
Most
white.
decks run blue. I
Yeah,
mean, most decks run any given
blue or
color. It
green,
feels like most decks will be running it.
blue or green. Yeah,
Um, Plus, we aren't playing that much blue, which means other people were taking it in a higher degree, I imagine, anyway.
yeah.
Um, I think we should run it. I think it's feasible to get double blue mana at that point. And I actually maybe we want to go with this. We can board in Root Greeble in place with something else. I mean, it's just lame because all of our ramp is in the 2-drop slot, and then that gives them an extra turn to kill it before it's relevant. Because we need to hit 5 drops with it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
We've got a bunch of 3 drops, so we can play like a 3 drop. I mean, our deck is just not optimized for
We don't.
beating other decks. So,
One reason I would be, I'll talk about this for like 10 seconds. I think that Rugruvel should still be considered for the main because of the bear power and
yeah.
being able to ramp into a Rugruvel seems good. Maybe the Steel Leaf Paladin shouldn't be in the main, but like I don't want to cut any. Strafe would be the card that I'm most apt to cut. I'll just put,
Yeah.
but I think that we should keep the Strafe. Um, don't want to cut any of the 3 drops. The Helionaut, like I guess I'd be willing to cut a Helionaut, but that just would make our mana so much worse.
Yeah, I think so too. I actually think we have to play the Helionaut, which makes me really sad. All
Yeah,
3 of them.
I think this is fine. We can always like probe without kicker on turn 3 if our hand is bad.
Okay. So I'm thinking it's going to end up being something like. Uh,
Okay, for
um,
I think it's gonna be like a little heavier green and like maybe a 7/5/5.
I mean, that seems right to me. Remember, we've got more blue than white, but whites are fixing color with Helionauts.
Yeah, I mean we could go down one more blue because of that.
We have a lot of blue cards, don't we? No, never mind. I thought that all
We
3 in
have
the gold
7,
column were blue.
but I
I
mean
mean, I don't know. None of these mana bases look good. This makes me nervous, but
this is the best because if we hit a Helionaut, I mean like turn before turn 3, the only thing we can cast is a Skyfolk.
yeah. And that's a okay late game card too.
Yeah, so I kind of am favoring
Okay.
white.
Yeah, and getting
And
down Sunscape Familiar is probably good.
and this way, if we just have like a blue and white start, then we've got the Helionauts to get us our green.
Okay, do it and then submit because we're run out of time.
Yeah.
See you guys in round 1.